Hello guys, today this video will show you how you can get your first win in Fortnite Chapter 2 and why Slurpy Lake, whatever it's called, Slurpy Swamp, is the best location on the Fortnite map for you to drop. Currently Chapter 2 Season 1, I believe it's the best place to land. I have almost unlocked all the locations, so I think it's pretty accurate. So first of all, when you land, you want to break down these barrels, because for Slurpy Lake is the best location. If you do land there, then all of these things will give you shield, which will really help you in battle, as the more shield you have, the easier it is going to be to win the game. After breaking this barrel, I become full shield, full health, just from barrels. There's a weapon. Oh yes. Oh my god, a player! Tag them. I use a very good tactic here where I edit the wall and build to block the shots. As you could see, as I built, it blocked the shots, and if you build, then you are more likely to be able to win the game, because every shot that comes at you can be blocked by the building. But make sure you gather materials by breaking things, and something about healing. Whatever health you're on, make sure you heal. Even if you've used some bandages, you're on 75 HP and you have a medkit, use the medkit. You should. It's a good idea. So right now I can hear another player, so I'm being careful. That was the noise. And that noise is when someone eliminates a person. So now I go looking for the person, but I make sure to play it safe. Now, you won't be able to do this sort of thing if you just start out. Like, the building will take you practice, and the editing will take you practice, and you might want to change in the settings the different building buttons and editing buttons, because it's much easier than the default. As you can see, as people are fighting here, I go in and do some damage, and I manage to get an elimination. And I built to block that person's shot, and now I'm going for extra cover around the building. Then I saw where the bullets were coming from, and realised that there were people coming from where I'm facing. So I run over here, and I start looking for the person. I can't see them, I just know the general direction. Did you hear that? That noise was the noise of someone banging. That means that there is a player there, and you should watch out. So I saw this player, so I decided to shoot. Although if you are not confident in fighting, then someone may be able to hear you and come up to you and be able to eliminate you. You want to hit players with as many hits as you can, because it will slowly drain their health and their medical equipment, I guess, by just damaging them, and it also removes their confidence and makes them less likely to win a fight, because they've taken damage and you have more health than them probably now. You see this? This person had no idea I was about to do that. So if there are stairs, if you went down that, then the player underneath the stairs could shoot through. So you always want to surprise your opponent, because then you can get the first hit. And if that hit is the last hit until you win the fight, then you might as well do that. So I'm breaking more of these barrels to get some shields. This is why this area is the best location on the map. It's got a lot of materials. You can see my materials on the right, and it's got a lot more materials to mine, and it's got people to eliminate and practice fighting. And these containers, they hold as much shield or healing powers as you want. You could stay here forever, constantly getting healed, although do not stay here if you are getting eliminated, because then if you stand there, then you are more likely to get shot. Because if you just stand there and think that it will heal you quicker than you get shot, you are not right, okay? You are not right. And as I heard that person bashing, I know there is another player here. So instinctively I start looking around for the player hopefully taking him out of the game. Although, as you can see in the top right on my mini map, I'm not in the storm zone, and the storm takes damage away from you, making it harder for you to win. So, after I do a bit more looting, I go to the ring, and that means that I have a advantage over my opponent because I am in the ring and that player is not. So I want to talk weapons. If you find a shotgun like that blue weapon in my hotbar, then you should pick it up and use it in close range. If you're close to someone, use that. If you're medium distance, I say from where my character is to over where that house is, hut is, then I would use an SMG. Which if you do not know the names, then you can press whatever button you use to get into your inventory to hover over and see what weapon it is. If it says it's an assault rifle, then it will be long range. And if it's a sniper, then it is super long range. And never use a sniper close range unless you're really good with a sniper. But that takes a lot of practice. You'll see YouTubers like McCreamy and other YouTubers. I've never watched McCreamy, I just know he does trick shots. Who do trick shots at very close range. Do not do that. Definitely do not do that. And boats, they make a lot of noise, so do not use them too much because players will be able to hear you and may want to eliminate you as you're just this crazy person running around. And if you look in the bottom left, you see my health bar. There's been another one added. That health is for my vehicle, and if people shoot it, it will go down. And every second that your boat is on land, it will remove 1 point away. So, if you were at the top of that dam, and someone was at the bottom of it, the most likely person to win would be you. So that's why I'm going up the top, because if there is anyone down there, then it'll be very easy to eliminate them. But make sure you're still in the ring if you are going for high ground. And especially do not go on the dam if you want high ground. I'm just having a look around, because it can be not a very good idea to stay up there, as you are in the centre. Lots of people will be able to see you, and lots of people will probably be able to shoot you. So you want to stay around in the trees, but I'm just having a look around. This is, I think, the 4th time I've been here, so I just wanted to see what it was about. And there is also a hiding spot underneath this truck, if you want to do it. I have been here before and sniped someone. I don't do it in this game because I couldn't see anyone to snipe. And one problem about sniping is if you miss a snipe, then it's so loud that someone will probably know that you're there. And fall damage. If you fall through water, do not worry. You do not die if you fall into water. But you will die if you land on the ground. Well, every time you build, if you build 3 high using those ramps, then you will take 10 fall damage. And fall damage, the health only gets taken away from your health and not your shield. So when you get to 0 health, you may still be on 100 shield, you will still die. And talking about shield, have you heard of big potions and small shields? Well, I have small shields in my inventory, and you should drink the small shields before you drink the big potion, or you cannot drink the mini shields afterwards because it won't let you. As you can see, what I'm doing here is I just checked for a trap to make sure that no one has laid a trap anywhere, because traps do 150 damage. So if you don't have any shield, then you'll probably die. But if you have at least 50 shield and 51 shield and 100 health, then you will survive. But you will be 150 health less, which is not good. So you do not want that to happen. As you can see, I'm gathering materials, because if you want to build, every time you build something, you use 10 materials. You may think that's a lot, but in a fight that I'm about to get into now, you see that the materials go down very quickly. Keep a close eye out on my material count and what I'm doing in the fight to make sure that you kind of have a better understanding of the building mechanic. Obviously I don't do a very good job of it here, but I start to get here. This person is higher than me, so I gain the high ground by building on him and shooting. He has to build against me, so I jump around. I accidentally take full damage, which I didn't mean to do. I place this floor here, so if he jumps out and shoots at me, I can jump around and hit him. There are so many bullets here I've blocked out, and I hit him for 110 here, and then using good aim, I managed to eliminate him. Now you see that I'm now low on health. First I use my medkit, because that will get my health up. Then I'm going to use my mini shields, then I'm going to use my big pot. So something to note, if there are lots of people around you shooting you, and when you're in this box, make sure to hold down the button for your walls and your floor buttons, because then they can't get in. Well, they can if you have good internet, but it's much more likely that they will not be able to get in, so make sure you do that. There is another player here. All I did was shoot him. If they start to shoot back, then you might as well build, because then it blocks the shots. But if they're just walking around in the wild like that person was there, not being very good, not building like you should, that happens. So guys, if you are very bad and you do not build, if you get shot like that, if that guy had built, I'd have to build too, and I'd have to try conquer him instead of just carry on shooting him. Really, it would be much easier. It was much easier to kill him when he was building than if he started building when he was getting shot. So make sure you do that. You see this house? This house is not a nice place to go. Places like this, people often camp in them, and if you go inside, you often get either trapped or eliminated. Especially at this part in the game. If it's at the beginning of the game, say there's 100, maybe 90 to 70 people, then maybe you could, but as this is a very small circle, ring circle, that you can stay in, there is someone in this house. I just didn't know it. I did not know there was someone in this house, although I saw that it had been looted, so no chests or anything were in there. So I decided to leave, which was a very good idea, as there was someone in that house who was waiting for me to come up the stairs so that he could shoot me. So that is a common mistake that people often make. They often get jump scared, I guess, while they're in a house. Although you can make up what you find about different locations. If it is really secluded, then maybe 99% of the time there'll be no one in there. But do expect someone to be there every time you go in. Be careful, look for traps on the ceilings and walls and floors. Just check everything. You don't need to check it all the time, or it'd be like it'd be like you'd be all anxious all the time. It's going to be a trap everywhere. Do not think that, because if you build something and you're still there, unless you hear footsteps or anything, no one will be there, okay? Like me, I cannot hear footsteps, so I'm not building anything. I'm not getting shot at, so I'm not building anything. People do not know where I am because I haven't built anything. Because if I built something, they would know where I am, so they'd shoot at me. So if you're on this sort of high place and you build, everyone will see this and see that you're a big threat, so they will start shooting at you. And I should not have shot that. I thought there was a player there. And now there is probably about 3 players in this match who know exactly where I am. You hear that? That was shooting, so I'm now having a look back at the house to see if there's any players. In a minute, I will go over to the house and start eliminating some people. So, just because I heard that. Normally, you'd like to build around this, but I was just being a bit cocky and not building around it, because I don't know, I was a bit bored. I should have built around it, guys. So now, I realise that I need to go over to that house, because that house has some people at, and there are only 4 players, 6 players left. So I wanted to eliminate some of them to make the amount of players left even smaller. Someone just got eliminated, which means that there are even less people left. So as you can see, I'm going in now and I'm having a look for the player and I see him. So I shoot. It doesn't matter if your aim isn't very good for a while, you just need to get used to it. Check these bushes, some people hide in them and shoot out of them. So I see that that player is there and I shoot him and get the elimination. This guide will not guarantee you being amazing. It will not guarantee you being amazing. It will take practice. I have played this game for a very long time. That's why I'm alright at the game. I'm not the best. I see this person is damaging me too much, so I decide not to fight his aiming skills, because he seems quite good at aiming. So I decide to use my shield to get back up to full health. And I basically just stay here for a while, and until I see this person. You can see that pose he's in. That means he had a sniper, and if I'd have gone over the edge, then he would have known I was there. Now he's built over me. He's on top of me. So what do? Well, I put myself in a box. Then I start building. This is where the phrase 90s turn in. You can go up there, and if you cone them, you can trap them like that. But trust me, this is one of, I don't do that often. I might do that every 1 in 10 games. So I do not do that often at all. This is the last player. It's a 1v1. I have 8 eliminations and amazing loot. I have high ground over the other player, and I have lots of materials. I have the maximum materials for everything except for I would have max materials if I had 50 more metal, so I'm not really worried about using up all my materials. So I only have 1 more player to fight, then this will be the end. It turns out that this player wasn't a very good player. He was extremely bad at the game. So he just starts to camp. And this is the problem. If you camp all this time, he camps for a long time, and then you just get eliminated like he does, then you're not going to be then the person is not going to be very happy. They spent all that time hiding. Their heart rate is probably pumping, and they have not seen a single player. They've just been hiding, and when they get shot, they're on low health. They haven't carried medical equipment with them, like shields or anything. They haven't carried anything with them, so they are not doing good. I lost my position a bit doing this, but luckily I just managed to build up. This player is not very good, but if the player was a bit better, I probably may have died there, as they could have done a number of things to help remove me. I have an idea of where the player is, but I do build around myself just in case he's somewhere else, somewhere where I do not think he is, and he will shoot me in the back. Because right now I just want to keep all the health I can get. Because this final battle, I don't know what it's going to be like. I could be facing a really good player. I could be facing a really bad player. Who knows? And in the end, this guy gave himself away by destroying that. And I knew exactly where he was. So all I did was shoot at him, which ended the game. I got the win. And that was the end. If you land at the swamp place, you will not guaranteed win, just saying. It will just help you on your way to the win.